Have you ever felt like you're chasing shadows in a relationship? You give it your all, try to prove your worth, but in the end, you're left with confusion, frustration, and doubts about your own value. Let me tell you something. Women who play with your heart don't do so by accident. It's calculated, intentional, and designed to test your limits. But here's the difference. As a stoic, high-value man, you don't play on their terms. You rise above it. This video isn't about revenge or manipulation. It's about something far greater. Reclaiming your power, your peace, and your purpose. The methods I'm about to share aren't just tricks. They're a mindset. One that no one, not even the most skilled manipulator, can break. On this journey, you'll learn to spot their games before they begin, protect your emotions, and walk away with your head held high if necessary. All of this is based on the principles of Stoicism, psychology, and the immutable truths of human nature. Warrior, stay until the end, because mastering these methods won't just protect your heart. It will change how you see yourself and the world around you. Prepare to transform. One, spot their games early. How many times have you felt that something didn't quite add up, that her words and actions didn't match? That confusion isn't a mistake, warrior. It's a strategy. Women who play with your emotions don't rely on brute force. Their power lies in subtlety, in invisible moves that slip past the untrained eye. But you're not an average man. You're a stoic man, and stoic men see what others cannot. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself among the ranks of the insane." If your mind isn't clear, your decisions will lead you straight into the traps they've set. But when you wake up and understand the rules of the game, you don't just become immune, you position yourself as an unbeatable player. Understanding their tactics, the art of subtle manipulation. Their games aren't random, they're calculated. Imagine this. 1. Flooding you with attention one day and disappearing the next. This emotional push and pull isn't accidental. It's a tactic to keep you chasing their validation. Flirting with other men in front of you. It's not unintentional. She wants to see your reaction, to test whether you'll compete for her. 3. Canceling plans without explanation but expecting you to always be available. This is control. She wants your world to revolve around her while showing you that her time is more valuable than yours. These aren't coincidences. They're deliberate strategies designed to keep you unsure of yourself, questioning your worth, and ultimately seeking her approval. Here's the truth. A high-value woman doesn't need to play games to feel valuable. She respects her time and yours. But a manipulative woman thrives in chaos, maintaining control by keeping you confused. Stoicism as your advantage, seeing beyond the surface. A stoic man doesn't react impulsively. He observes, he analyzes, he stays calm, even in the face of provocation. The moment you spot her tactics, the dynamic shifts. You're no longer playing her game, you're changing the rules. For example, when she acts inconsistently, you don't chase explanations or seek closure, you simply take note. When she tries to provoke you, you don't react. Instead of showing insecurity, you display self-control. When she tests your limits, you stand firm, making it clear that you won't be manipulated. Marcus Aurelius taught that clarity and calmness are your greatest weapons. And he was right. When you see through the facade she presents, her power vanishes. She's left unsettled. Your clarity, focus, and refusal to be blindfolded become the pillars that disarm her. How to spot her games early. The first step to dismantling her strategies is to pay attention to patterns. Look for these signs. 1. Inconsistency. If her actions and words don't align, it's a red flag. For example, if she says she cares about you but her actions suggest otherwise, don't ignore the contradiction. 2. Emotional control. If she constantly tests your emotions by flirting with others or creating unnecessary conflicts, she's assessing your reactions. 3. Disregard for your time. If she frequently disrespects your commitments or keeps you waiting, it shows a lack of consideration. Once you learn to recognize these signs, you shift the power dynamic. You're no longer a passive participant in her game, but an active observer. And that perspective gives you the upper hand, the power of perception. Believe me, warrior, once you can see through her games, she can no longer control you. Her power fades because she no longer has access to your mind or emotions. You've taken control, and she knows it. This isn't about revenge or manipulating her in return. It's about protecting your heart, your time, and your inner peace. Your clarity and focus are powerful weapons. Use them wisely, and no manipulator, no matter how skilled, will ever play you again. 2. Avoid showing emotional weakness. Emotional weakness isn't just a risk. It's a death sentence in the game of manipulation. Women who play with your emotions aren't looking for a balanced partner. They're seeking control. And the easiest way to gain it? By identifying your insecurities, exploiting your fears, and manipulating your emotions. That's why emotional control is one of the most powerful skills a Stoic man can master. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This choice is the key to protecting yourself from any attempt at manipulation. Why they test you. Understand this. When a woman tests your emotional strength, it's not always out of malice. Sometimes it's instinctive. They want to know if you can remain firm when things get tough, if you're the type of man who can lead, protect, and provide stability. However, for manipulative women, these tests aren't just instinctive. They're calculated. Their goal isn't to find your strength, but to expose your weaknesses and use them against you. Common emotional tests. 1. She ignores your messages. This isn't forgetfulness. She wants to see if you'll panic, lose control, and start seeking her attention frantically. She makes unfair accusations. The aim isn't always to make you feel guilty, but to see if you crumble under pressure. 3. She flirts openly with others in your presence. This isn't necessarily because she's interested in someone else. It's to provoke an emotional reaction from you. Each of these actions has one purpose: to break your emotional balance. The average reaction: falling into the trap. The average man, when faced with these tests, reacts predictably. He gets angry. He becomes jealous. He starts pleading or justifying himself. These reactions not only make you vulnerable, but also fuel her power. The moment you lose emotional control, you hand her the keys to your mind, and with it, your dignity. But you're not the average man. You're a Stoic warrior. The Stoic response: composed and unshakable. A Stoic man understands that emotions are tools, not masters. He feels them but doesn't allow them to take control. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means managing them wisely. So what do? 1. Ignore her provocations. If she tries to trigger a reaction, you remain calm. You show that you're not easily manipulated. 2. Respond with calmness and indifference. Instead of engaging in her games, you choose your words and actions carefully, demonstrating composure. 3. Stay focused on what matters. When resolving a conflict, you approach it with a clear purpose rather than reacting impulsively. This calmness confuses manipulative women. They don't know how to deal with a man who doesn't crumble under their tactics. Training emotional resilience. Emotional resilience isn't built overnight. It's a muscle you need to train, and like any muscle, it requires consistent effort. Here are some strategies to strengthen it. 1. Practice the pause. Before reacting to any provocation, take a few seconds to breathe. This pause is enough to regain perspective and avoid impulsive responses. 2. Reflect on your values. When you're clear about who you are and what you stand for, the actions and opinions of others lose their power over you. 3. Focus on what you can control. You can't control her actions, but you can always control your reactions. By focusing on what's within your power, you reduce your vulnerability. The respect earned through emotional control. Believe me, when you master your emotions, you don't just earn respect, you shift the entire dynamic of power. The man who controls his emotions controls the situation. Even manipulative women can't help but respect someone who's emotionally unshakable. And here's the ultimate truth. Emotional control not only protects your heart but also strengthens your mind. It makes you a stronger, wiser man, capable of handling any challenge life throws at you. 3. Master the art of silence. Silence isn't merely the absence of words. It's a declaration of power. In a world where everyone fights to be heard, the man who knows when to remain silent stands out as someone who doesn't seek external validation. And when dealing with women who play emotional games, silence becomes your secret weapon. Why is silence so powerful? Women who manipulate thrive on your reactions. Each time you justify yourself, argue, or plead, you feed their control. They need your words to keep their game alive. Choosing silence disrupts their dynamic and takes away their power. Consider this. Words don't just communicate ideas, they reveal emotions. React impulsively and she'll analyze every tone, every phrase, every expression to find your weaknesses. But when you choose silence, you deny her that advantage. What does it mean to master silence? Mastering silence doesn't mean avoiding communication altogether. It means knowing when and how to use silence to your benefit. Silence can take several forms. Not responding immediately to a provoking message. Remaining calm when faced with an unfounded accusation. Refusing to engage in meaningless arguments. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "We often lose more by speaking unnecessarily than by remaining silent." This principle is especially true when dealing with someone who seeks to manipulate you. Using silence to your advantage. 1. Disrupt their strategy. When she throws cryptic comments or tries to provoke you with indirect questions, your first response should be silence. This doesn't mean ignoring her entirely, but taking time to think before responding. It shows you're deliberate, not reactive. 2. Diffuse conflicts. If an argument starts escalating, silence can be your most powerful tool. By choosing not to respond to chaos, you demonstrate that you're unwilling to waste your energy on meaningless disputes. 3. Create impact. Speak only when you have something meaningful to say. When you carefully choose your words and speak with intent, each word carries more weight. The man who speaks less but with clarity commands attention. How silence disorients manipulators. When you refuse to react, she's left alone with her emotions and actions. This forces her to reflect, question herself, and often seek your attention even more. Your silence creates mystery, and mystery always attracts more than over-explanation. Imagine these scenarios. She accuses you unjustly, expecting you to engage in a heated argument to defend yourself. Instead, you simply look at her, remain silent, and then change the subject or walk away. That act of self-control leaves her powerless. She makes a sarcastic or provocative comment, waiting for you to react emotionally. Instead, you act as if her words don't affect you at all and continue with your day. That indifference frustrates her and dismantles her strategy. The balance between silence and words. While silence is powerful, it's equally important to know when to speak. The key is balance. Speak with conviction and clarity when necessary, and use silence strategically when words would dilute your position. A Stoic man never speaks to fill the space. He speaks when he has something meaningful to say and remains silent when words are unnecessary. Each word he speaks is deliberate and impactful, like a hammer striking iron, precise and purposeful. The benefits of silence. 1. Strengthens your self-control. Practicing silence is not just an external tactic, it's an internal discipline. Learning to control your words sharpens your mind. 2. Earns you respect. People, including women, respect men who don't speak frivolously. Silence reflects confidence and maturity. 3. Avoids unnecessary conflicts. Many arguments are unworthy of your energy. Silence protects you from falling into them. Final reflection. Mastering the art of silence doesn't mean avoiding communication. It means controlling the narrative. By choosing silence over impulsive reactions, you send a clear message. You're a man who cannot be manipulated, who values his peace, and who doesn't waste time on trivial matters. So, warrior, the next time someone tries to provoke or manipulate you, remember, your silence is your strength. Let your silence speak for you, and you'll discover its impact is far more powerful than any word you could have said. 4. Value your time above all else. Time is your most valuable resource, warrior. You can lose money and earn it back, but every second that passes is gone forever. Women who play emotional games don't just manipulate your feelings, they waste your time. They keep you under their control by draining your energy and disconnecting you from your purpose. But a Stoic man knows that protecting his time is protecting his life. Time reflects your self-worth. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The man who does not value his time has not learned the value of his life. Your time is a reflection of how much you respect yourself. If you allow others to manipulate it, you're giving away the most precious thing you own. Think about it. How often have you waited endlessly for a response? How many times have you rearranged your schedule for someone who canceled at the last minute? How often have you tolerated someone who consistently disrespects your time? Each instance was an act of undervaluing yourself. Tolerating this behavior doesn't make you kind. It makes you vulnerable. How manipulators exploit your time. 1. The waiting game. She takes hours or days to respond to your messages but expects you to reply immediately. This isn't a coincidence. It's a strategy to keep you anxious. 2. Last-minute changes. She cancels or alters plans at the 11th hour, leaving your time feeling wasted and insignificant. 3. Unequal attention. She shows up only when she needs something but disappears when you need her support. These behaviors not only steal your time, but also drain your emotional energy. Every time you tolerate it, you send a message. My time doesn't matter. The Stoic approach, protecting your time. A Stoic man values every minute because he knows time used wisely brings him closer to his purpose, while wasted time pulls him further away. Seneca said, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Here's how to protect your time with Stoic discipline. 1. Identify time wasters. If someone repeatedly disrespects your time, remove them from your life. Set clear priorities. Ask yourself, does this align with my purpose or is it a distraction? If it's the latter, let it go. 3. Communicate your standards. Let people in your life know that your time is valuable. If they can't respect it, they don't belong in your circle. Example: handling a time waster. Imagine she cancels plans for the 3rd time at the last minute, leaving you frustrated. What do? The average man might make excuses for her, justify her behavior, or wait for her to reschedule. But you are not the average man. Your response should be calm and direct. I value my time and I see that you don't. If something changes and you're ready to respect that, let me know. Until then, I won't continue investing my time here. This response sets a firm boundary while maintaining your composure. You reclaim your time and show that it's not negotiable. The impact of valuing your time. When you prioritize your time, 1. Manipulators step back. Those who don't respect your time will leave because they can't control you. 2. You attract high-value people. People who respect your time demonstrate they respect you as a person. Further, your productivity increases. With fewer distractions, you focus on your goals, passions, and growth. Final reflection. Valuing your time is more than a practice. It's a declaration of your principles. When you guard your time, you safeguard your mental peace, energy, and future. Warrior, focus on what truly matters: your purpose, your growth, and the people who genuinely value you. Make every second count, because the time you use wisely is what brings you closer to the man you're meant to become. 5. Establish firm boundaries. Boundaries are the framework of your life, warrior. Without them, you allow others to dictate how you act, what you tolerate, and what you value. Women who play emotional games constantly test your boundaries, not out of curiosity, but to measure how much control they can exert over you. Without boundaries, you're a pawn on their chessboard. With boundaries, you become an unshakable king. Why are boundaries essential? A man without boundaries is like a city without walls, vulnerable to any attack. When you don't set clear boundaries, you allow others to cross important lines, eroding your confidence, self-esteem, and peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius summed it up perfectly. You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this and you will find strength. Boundaries are that strength. They are the barriers that protect your mind, heart, and time. How manipulators test your boundaries. 1. Unreasonable demands. She asks for excessive favors, your time, or sacrifices that are unfair. 2. Invasion of your space. She wants to know every detail of your life, controlling your decisions and actions. 3. Emotional tests. She manipulates you into doing things against your values while making you feel guilty if you refuse. These tactics aren't signs of love or interest. They are tools to gain power over you. The Stoic approach, setting boundaries firmly. A Stoic man understands that boundaries aren't walls of exclusion, but lines of respect. Setting boundaries isn't an act of aggression, but an act of clarity. Seneca said, "Nothing is more honorable than a man strong enough to say no." Saying no is the first step in mastering the art of setting boundaries. How to define and defend your boundaries. 1. Identify your values. What's non-negotiable for you? This could include your time, personal space, or life goals. 2. Communicate clearly. Express your boundaries calmly and confidently without unnecessary justifications. Example: I need advance notice if plans change. It helps me manage my time effectively. 3. Reinforce consequences. If someone crosses a boundary, take action. Boundaries are meaningless without follow-through. Example: if you cancel at the last minute again, I won't be able to prioritize making plans with you. Example: handling a boundary violation. Imagine she frequently invades your personal space, demanding more time than you can give. You might feel tempted to give in to avoid conflict, but a Stoic man knows that yielding is losing. Instead say, I value my time and need you to respect my space. I'm here for you, but I can't commit to more than we've already agreed upon. By communicating firmly but respectfully, you reinforce your position without escalating tension. The transformative power of boundaries. When you set clear boundaries. 1. Manipulators. Step back. Those who seek control retreat when they realize you won't tolerate their behavior. Your self-respect grows. Each time you defend a boundary, you reinforce your self-worth. 3. You inspire. Respect. High-value individuals recognize and admire someone who knows how to establish and protect boundaries. Common mistakes when setting boundaries. 1. Over-explaining. Your boundaries don't need lengthy justifications. Clear, concise statements are enough. 2. Caving under pressure. If someone tests your boundary, standing firm is crucial. Giving in once invites further challenges. Failing to act. A boundary without enforcement is no boundary at all. Final reflection. Boundaries are a manifestation of self-respect. By setting them, you define what you allow and what you won't tolerate in your life. Boundaries don't just protect you, they attract people who value your integrity and determination. Warrior, remember this. Your boundaries are non-negotiable. They are the pillars of your peace, your time, and your purpose. Set them with confidence and watch how the dynamics of those around you change. 6. Communicate with clarity and confidence. Clarity in communication is power, warrior. When you speak with purpose and confidence, you eliminate the ambiguity that manipulators thrive on. A woman who plays emotional games flourishes in confusion and unclear communication. If you're not direct, you'll leave gaps for her to fill with her own narrative. Why is clarity so important? Confusion is the manipulator's main weapon. Speaking without clarity makes you an easy target for distortions, blame, and misunderstandings. However, a Stoic man communicates with precision, leaving little to no room for misinterpretation. Seneca said it best. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Your communication is that port. Without clarity, chaos will follow. Common communication mistakes. 1. Speaking from emotion. Letting emotions guide your words diminishes your credibility and control. 2. Over-justifying. Trying to explain too much shows insecurity and makes you appear less confident. 3. Being evasive or indirect. Leaving room for interpretation allows manipulators to twist your words for their advantage. The Stoic approach, precision and purpose. A Stoic man treats his words as tools, not weapons. Clear communication is not about aggression, but about expressing your thoughts and expectations with firmness and calmness. Here's a practical framework for clear communication. 1. Know your intentions. Before speaking, be clear about what you want to achieve. Are you setting a boundary? Resolving a conflict? Clarifying expectations? Use specific language. Avoid vague statements. Instead of saying, I feel like you don't respect my time, say, when you cancel plans at the last minute, it feels like you don't value my time. This needs to change if we are to continue. 3. Stay focused. If someone tries to derail the conversation or provoke you emotionally, maintain your focus on the central issue. Example, facing manipulation. Imagine she distorts something you said to make you seem like the bad guy. Instead of reacting emotionally, respond with precision. That's not what I said or intended. Let me clarify my point. Here's what I meant. By doing this, you regain control of the conversation and prevent further misinterpretation. The power of confidence in communication. When you speak with confidence, you project authority. Confidence isn't about being loud or forceful. It's about conviction. Your tone, body language, and word choice must align to reinforce your message. Pro tip: practice speaking with deliberate pauses. Pauses give you time to think and make your words carry more weight. How to handle manipulative tactics. 1. Cryptic or indirect comments. If she says something like, "Maybe you're not as interested as I thought," respond with, "If there's something you want to address, I'd prefer you say it directly so we can discuss it." 2. Avoiding accountability. If she changes the subject to evade responsibility, redirect the conversation. "That's an interesting point, but let's get back to what we were discussing." 3. Guilt or victimization. If she tries to make you feel guilty, remain firm. "I understand how you feel, but that doesn't change what I need in this situation." Benefits of clear communication. 1. Reduces misunderstandings. Your expectations are clearly defined, leaving little room for confusion. 2. Disarms manipulators. Their power weakens when they can't twist your words. 3. Earns respect. Speaking with clarity and confidence demonstrates maturity and self-assurance. Final reflection. Clarity isn't just a tool, it's a shield. When you communicate with confidence and purpose, you eliminate opportunities for manipulation and confusion. Your words become an extension of your inner strength. Warrior, remember this. Speaking with clarity not only protects your interests, but reinforces your identity as a man of high value. Communicate with precision and watch how the dynamics of power shift in your favor. 7. Walk away with confidence when necessary. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness, warrior. It's the ultimate act of self-respect and wisdom. Women who play with your emotions thrive on your fear of leaving. They believe you'll cling to the hope of change, pouring time and energy into someone who doesn't value you. But a Stoic man knows when it's time to leave, not out of resentment, but out of clarity and dignity. Why knowing when to walk away is crucial. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This includes the actions and decisions of others. While you can't control how someone behaves, you always have control over how you respond. And sometimes, the best response is to walk away. Staying in a toxic relationship, or with someone who doesn't value your time or effort, sacrifices your peace, purpose, and progress. Walking away isn't about not caring. It's about caring for yourself enough to prioritize your well-being. Signs: it's time to walk away. 1. Your boundaries are constantly ignored. Despite clearly setting limits, she continues to cross them. 2. Ongoing disrespect. Her words or actions show she doesn't appreciate your time, effort, or feelings. 3. Never-ending games. Manipulation, control, and inconsistency are persistent patterns. Lack of reciprocity. If you're always the one giving while she only takes, the relationship is unbalanced. The art of walking away with confidence. Walking away isn't about teaching her a lesson or manipulating her to change. It's about reaffirming your worth. Here's how to leave with dignity. 1. Stay calm. Evaluate the situation logically, not emotionally. Ask yourself, is this relationship helping me grow, or is it holding me back? 2. Communicate clearly. When you decide to leave, do so with clarity and respect. For example, "I've realized our priorities and values aren't aligned, and it's best for both of us to move on." And avoid drama. Don't engage in arguments or feel the need to justify your decision. It's not up for debate. 4. Close the chapter. Once you walk away, don't look back. Focus on your growth and future goals. Practical example. Imagine you've set boundaries, but she continues to ignore them. You've communicated your expectations, but nothing changes. Instead of waiting for her to improve, you decide to prioritize yourself. With composure, you tell her, "I've noticed this dynamic isn't working for either of us. I need to prioritize my peace and time. I wish you the best, but it's time for me to move forward." This statement shows strength and self-respect, leaving no room for negotiation. The impact of walking away. 1. You reclaim your power. Walking away puts you back in control of your life and emotions. 2. You send a clear message. It's a declaration that your self-respect is non-negotiable. 3. You make room for better. Letting go of toxic relationships creates space for people and opportunities that truly value you. The Stoic mindset behind walking away. A Stoic man understands that not all battles are worth fighting. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Walking away isn't a loss, it's a victory over attachment and fear. It's a courageous and clear act that proves you value your time, energy, and purpose above all else. Final reflection. Warrior, remember this. Walking away with confidence doesn't make you cold or insensitive. It makes you a man of principles and strength. When you leave behind what doesn't serve you, you move toward what truly deserves your time and energy. The next time you find yourself in a situation where your worth isn't respected, remember, you have the power to leave with dignity. Final thoughts and reflections. Warrior, by now, you've learned that dealing with emotional games is not about retaliation, manipulation, or trying to win against someone else. It's about reclaiming your power, protecting your peace, and staying aligned with your purpose. The journey you've just embarked on is not merely about avoiding manipulation. It's about becoming a man of clarity, confidence, and resilience. This isn't a temporary mindset. It's a lifelong approach that enhances every area of your life, from relationships to personal growth. Key takeaways. Here's a summary of the lessons you've learned. 1. Detect their games early. By observing patterns and inconsistencies, you can avoid falling into traps. Your awareness disarms their tactics before they can affect you. 2. Master emotional resilience. Your ability to control your emotions is a shield against manipulation. Emotional control isn't about repression, but about responding with wisdom and composure. 3. Harness the power of silence. Strategic silence denies manipulators the reaction they crave. It's not about ignoring, but about communicating strength through restraint. 4. Value your time. Time is your most valuable asset. By protecting it, you send a clear message about your self-worth and priorities. 5. Establish unshakable boundaries. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect. Clear boundaries protect your peace and attract people who genuinely value you. 6. Communicate with clarity and confidence. Precision in your words eliminates confusion and ensures your intentions are understood. A confident tone commands respect. 7. Walk away with dignity. Knowing when to leave is a sign of strength, not weakness. Walking away creates space for growth, peace, and relationships that align with your values. The bigger picture. This isn't just about dealing with one person or one situation. It's about evolving into the best version of yourself. The principles of Stoicism, emotional intelligence, and self-respect don't just make you resilient, they make you unstoppable. In relationships, you'll attract partners who align with your values and respect your boundaries. In life, you'll approach challenges with clarity, face uncertainty with courage, and make decisions with purpose. A call to action. Take these lessons and integrate them into your daily life. Reflect on where you've been tolerating less than you deserve. Practice emotional resilience and clarity in your interactions. Set boundaries and prioritize your time and energy. And remember, being a stoic, confident man doesn't mean being perfect. It means striving for growth, learning from setbacks, and always honoring your values. Closing words. Warrior, this isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning. Carry these principles with you as a guide, and you'll find that no one, no matter how skilled, can shake your foundation. You are strong, you are capable, and most importantly, you are in control of your destiny. Until next time, stay focused, stay resilient, and never forget the value of the man you're becoming.